So everyone, thank you for being here on this Tuesday evening of spring. Welcome to the Hebrew Seminary's 2021 Spirituality Series, Jewish Mysticism, Making It Real for Your Life. Hebrew Seminary has created this series of webinars led by our esteemed faculty, which are designed to explore the enduring wisdom of Judaism and Jewish mysticism, and to offer pathways to help us navigate our world and the challenges we face, which we all know well, both as individuals and collectively. Since the founding of Hebrew Seminary in 1992 in Skokie, Illinois, it's been an inclusive and egalitarian community teaching our students to become rabbis and Jewish educators to serve all Jewish communities, including the deaf community. We offer a scholarly education that empowers our students to become leaders and spiritual guides, as well as providing learning opportunities for all communities. We want to give special recognition and gratitude to our extraordinary founder and president, Rabbi Dr. Douglas Goldhammer. For those of you who are familiar with the seminary, we really thank you for being here and for supporting our community. For those of you who are new to Hebrew Seminary, we're grateful you're here. And for the virtual opportunities that we now have to reach an audience beyond the walls of the seminary, especially during these extraordinary times. Hi, I'm Nancy Rothstein. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of Hebrew Seminary, and I'll be your moderator this evening for the fourth of our series of 5 sessions. Tonight's is If Ever We Needed Angels with Rabbi Shari Chen. But before I introduce Rabbi Shari, a few Zoom guidelines to make the most of your experience this evening. The chat room at the bottom of your screen is open for your comments. That said, please put your questions in the Q&A feature also at the bottom of your screen. We'll be getting to those after Rabbi Shari's presentation. And to ensure you can all hear Rabbi Shari and you don't want to miss a word, your mics are muted. And I want to introduce you, because you probably see her there, to our incredible ASL interpreter, Kathy Silvern. She'll be signing this evening, and thank you, Kathy. For those following Kathy, feel free to use what's called the gallery view rather than the speaker view, which you can find in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. In addition, you may choose to pin Kathy's video, that is to enlarge it, by clicking on the 3 dots at the top right corner of her image and select Pin Video. Note that you can do this to the speaker's video as well. And now, let me introduce our gifted speaker. Rabbi Shari Chen is the executive director and a faculty member of Hebrew Seminary. She teaches biblical grammar, Torah, and Midrash. She also serves as associate rabbi of Congregation B'nai Shalom. She was ordained at Hebrew Seminary in 2005, and previously she directed B'nai Shalom's religious school and B'nai Mitzvah program and served in the sign language choir. Okay, everyone, bios are bios, but the essence of Rabbi Shari is that she shares her wisdom, her healing, and her teaching from her heart. She is kind, caring, and a beautiful and learned emissary of the teachings of Judaism, both the scholarly and the mystical, often weaving them together. For me, Rabbi Shari is the epitome of an earth angel. And as you know, this evening, Rabbi Chen will be speaking about If Ever We Needed Angels. I doubt there is one among us listening tonight who wouldn't welcome the presence of an angel. These have been tough times. I've pondered and practiced connecting with angels and the angelic realm. Rabbi Shari is going to enlighten you about how Judaism assimilates angels, both near and far. Who are they? What do they do? How do they appear? And how did they originally appear? Are there different types of angels? And probably most importantly for each of us is how can we experience angels in our lives? Over the years, I've looked to Rabbi Shari to illuminate for me these mysterious beings with a capital B. And in preparing for today's event, Rabbi Shari said to Tom Giller, our board chair, and me, we all experience angels in different ways. So you're in for an angelic journey this evening, including a beautiful angel meditation for you to practice. Welcome, Rabbi Shari.
Thank you, Nancy, so much. We all, as Nancy said, experience angels in different ways. I've been very, very blessed that I've had angels part of my life since I was young. I've had both angels here on earth. For example, one of the most wonderful person I know, Rabbi Dr. Douglas Goldhammer, my mentor, my teacher, my friend, was an angel sent to me right when I needed an angel the most in my life, when I was going through a very, very difficult time. And so there's anybody who's angelic, it's Rabbi Goldhammer. But all of us have some connection with angels. When I was a little girl, my grandparents, I only had one grandparent, my grandfather, my Papa Jaime, who was with me growing up. I had lost all three of my other grandparents. They had all died when I was very young. And my mother would say to me, your grandparents, they're petitioners for you in heaven. They're watching out. And I would look at the clouds and I would think, oh, that's where angels are. Not so much. And when I became a bat mitzvah, I was given a prayer book and I would say the prayers, Siddur, Kriyat Shema al Hamita, prayers, Shema, upon laying down at night. And I would always say my favorite part of it was when we talked to the four guardian angels, who were part of the prayers. And people through the years have often said to me, but wait, angels aren't Jewish. Angels aren't Christian. So I have an illustration. So right here we have, it's part of the Sistine Chapel, these are the cherubim. We see them in Christianity. Now, that same cherub in Judaism, that's this guy with the fiery sword guarding the gates to Eden. Angels are very, very, very Jewish in nature. We read about angels in our Talmud, in our Torah, in Midrash. Midrash it means you're investigating, you're drashing, you're searching out. And to me, I love Midrashim. Those are the stories that answer the questions that are in the Torah that we don't quite know, that help answer our questions. Most people, if you ask them about Abraham, they'll tell you the story of Abraham smashing the idols, but we don't really meet Abraham till he is well advanced in age and he's leaving and God comes to him and Lech Lecha. But Judaism talks about angels and all different kinds of angels. According to our Sefer Agadah, our book of legends of the Bible. Now, this is actually from Ginsburg's legend of the Bible. It says the third creation of the second day was the angels' hosts, both the ministering angels and the angels of praise. The reason they had not been called into being on the first day was lest men believe that the angels assisted God in the creations of the heaven and earth, The angels are fashioned from fire, have forms of fire, but only so long as they remain in heaven. When they descend to earth to do the bidding of God here below, either they are changed into wind, ruach, spirit, or they assume the guise of men and ish. There are 10 ranks of degrees among the angels. The most exalted in rank are those surrounding the divine throne on all sides, to the right, to the left, in front and behind, under the leaderships of the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. Angels are very, very part of our scriptures. In Genesis alone, we read in Genesis 1:26, and it says, V'yomer Elohim na'aseh Adam b'tzelmenu, which means, and God said, let us, not me, but let us create man in our image. Now, according to the Midrashim, who is God talking to? And the answer, of course, God's talking to the angels. He's telling them, let us make man. And then, according to all of the stories, a giant to-do takes place, and God throws the angel of truth to the earth, and he says, it's too late, I've already made him. The angels were not so much in favor of us being created. The angels are then, there's stories about, the angels coming to name the animals and getting in contests with Adam, and about the angels putting the snake up to the no good. But then our friend with the fiery sword at the end is said to be placed at the gates of Eden to make sure that once Adam and Eve are cast out, that they can no longer get back in. But it doesn't stop there. Our next parasha is Noah. Now, Noah was interesting. Noah's great-grandfather, Enoch, he was said to have become an angel. It says that he walked with God, and then he was no more. Only 2 times in our scriptures do you have that. You have that in the story of Enoch, and you have that with Elijah. What do the sages say? Well, Enoch became God's most cherished angel, Metatron, who resides right next to God and writes down and records every prayer and brings them to God. And Elijah becomes Sandalphon, and he brings our prayers up to God. But neither one of them pass away. Even Moses dies and God buries him, but not Enoch and not Elijah. And what starts the flood? We read about the Nephilim, the fallen ones, angels who fell to earth because they thought that the daughters of men were very nice. We get stories of Abraham meeting the 3 angels that come to him to tell them. Now, angels are interesting. Angels, most of them, have names ending with El, which means God. Raphael, God's healing. Michael, who's compared to love, God's love. Uriel, God's light. Gabriel, God's strength. They said that the angels that came to see Abraham were actually Michael, to tell Abraham he was going to be a father, that Sarah would have a baby. Gabriel was going to take care of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Raphael, who was there because Abraham had circumcised himself to make sure that he had a little healing. Any angel that heals is Raphael. And angels, unlike us, are not governed by laws of time and space. Raphael can be in many different places at the same time. Isaac is saved by angels when Abraham goes to sacrifice him. And angels call out. Usually they say a bat kol, a voice from heaven that stopped Abraham from sacrificing. You have Jacob. Jacob meets angels a lot. He has the ladder that goes up and down to heaven with angels going on it. He wrestles with an angel. And is given the name Israel. And even his son, Joseph, who do our sages believe is the most important man, the important figure in all of the Torah? An ish, an angel that tells Joseph that his brothers had gone the other way. Because if he had just gone back home, never would have gotten sold into slavery in Egypt, and none of us would be here, not today. And Moses, stories of Moses and the angels, stories of switching a plate of coals with gold, and how he burns his tongue to protect him when Pharaoh was testing him. Story of angels in the desert, and angels guarding the people. Pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Angels, even cherubim that are meant to be placed on top of the Ark of the Covenant. And the most beautiful stories of Moses and angels when giving of the 10 Commandments and his discussion with who really needs it. The angels are us. And even when Moses is ready to die, stories of the angels and their refusal to go and get Moses' soul because of who he was. And right in there, we also have the story of Balaam, which is one of my favorite angel stories in the whole Bible, because Balaam, who has a talking donkey, does not see the angel that's in front of him on the path, protecting him. I think we all have angels around us if we can just understand, if we can tune into them. And maybe we are a lot like Balaam, that we fail to see the angels that are with us. There's angels in the Talmud, angels that go and help human beings, stories of angels in our liturgy. My favorite prayer to start any Friday night services is Shalom Aleichem. And Shalom Aleichem basically welcomes the angels. It is a prayer that we say on Friday night. Sure. And it's, come ye angels, O you ministering angels, angels sent from the Most High, from the Holy One, blessed be he. Shalom Aleichem is part of our liturgy, as are the prayers that you say when you go to sleep at night, when you ask God to send his angels to you. We believe that God comes down and the 4 archangels are sent by God, and our soul is taken up to heaven during the night, and then The angels bring it back in the morning. And we say, Modeh Ani, thank you, God, for returning my soul to me. It's a pure soul from heaven. The angels, we talk about when someone passes away, we ask the angel to take their spirit, the four angels. On their right, Michael in his beautiful silver robes. On the left, Gabriel in his robes of crimson red. In front, Uriel in robes of gold. And behind, Raphael in robes of green and purple. We believe that the angels come down, they take the soul up to heaven, and the Kaddish that we say later, that's the key that opens the gates to heaven. As I said, there's many kinds of angels. There's the Chayot HaKodesh, the holy beings. There's Ofanim, Iralim, Chashmilim, Seraphim, Malachim, Elohim, B'nai Elohim. Those are the children, the Cherubim, and the Ishim, which are the ones that are person. Samson's mother is visited by an angel, tells her that she's going to have a nazar that will be made holy to the temple. Not to cut his hair, did not work very well for him, as we all know. But we have angels throughout all of our liturgy, our Talmud, our Midrash, and Kabbalah. Now, Kabbalistically, angels are very much a part. They talk about different kinds of angels, including a very specific kind called a madrich. Madrich is a guide. In Safat lived a man named Joseph Cairo. He was a great, great scholar. He wrote the most important book, one of them, of Jewish law. It's called the Shulchan Aruch, the set table. And basically, it gives you the laws. This is what you need to do. If you're walking by at Shabbos and you're cooking a nice, nice brisket, but the kid's running by and a drop of milk gets in the pot, is it treif? Or can you use it? What's the answer? In the Shulchan Aruch, it tells you exactly what the laws are. It is a consummate book of Jewish law. But how did Joseph Cairo write the book? Every night, a madrich, an angel, would come to him and would tell him exactly how to write. To me, that's what angels and Judaism are all about. You write a book of law dictated to you by an angel at night. It is a wonderful, wonderful story. But now I gave you all a background, and how do you bring angels into your life? And that's another story. Angels, one of the most common term we use is malach, malachim. It means a messenger from God. When you receive a message, the person that's giving you the message, that's malach, that's an angel. And when you serve and do the same thing and deliver a message for someone else, then you too are a malach. You're an earth angel. as Nancy said, all of us have been Malachim at one time or another in our life. And I think all of us have experienced angels, Malachim at one time or another in our lives. When the pandemic first started and everybody was panicking and toilet paper was gold back in those early days of a year ago, and we were all so afraid to go out of our homes or open our doors, one day my doorbell rang. And I was a little panicky, I have to admit. And I looked out, and there sitting on my stoop was a box. In the box was paper towels, wipes, toilet paper, oh my God, masks, rubber gloves. I couldn't understand where it came from. And then my neighbor from next door, who happened to be Muslim, it came from Pakistan, called on the phone and said, "We were worried about you, so we left you a box of things so that you'd have them in case you needed them, and just let you know that we're thinking about you." Melachim, angels that were sent to me. I've experienced angels in different ways. I've experienced angels through meditation, doing a lot of the things that Rabbi Goldhammer has taught over the years. I've experienced one Hanukkah, Rabbi Goldhammer and I had a visit from Gabriel. Just quite interesting. But I've also had personal angels in my own life. When I was young, I was 27, and there were complications following the birth of my youngest child, James. And basically they said I died twice on the table. But I can remember speaking to what I thought was a doctor who I never met again afterwards, and saying that I needed to be here, that I had 3 young children and under 5, and that I'm sure it was an angel that had come to see me. We can experience angels. Angels are all around us here. And what's more important is recognizing. Have you ever been, a friend of mine shared this story. She was moving and her car broke down in a really awful area of the city. She couldn't get to the jack or anything else because of all of the stuff in her trunk. And she was frightened. And this was the time before cell phones, no way to call anybody. Did she walk in this neighborhood, which wasn't so good? Or did she wait and she just prayed to God, God, help me. God, send me an angel. God, something. And a man pulled up in a truck, got out, helped her, changed her tire, and refused to take any money, just said he was doing a good deed to pass it on, and disappeared. She swears this to be true. She can't remember what that man looks like, but she remembers what happened. I think many of us are like Balaam. We just don't know that these are angels. We cannot really experience angels because I think we're on different vibrations, and we've done many different types of meditations where you vibrate and then you can understand and you can relate to the angel. You can channel the angel. But there's also angels that were in our life and are not here anymore. My mother passed away when she was very young. She was 63 years old. And I knew and I sensed her presence with me. And I still do. Maybe because I'm still in her house. But I can tell when she's around. And I can tell when she's being a petitioner for me. And I can tell when she's mad at me because, things will fall off the walls, especially if I say anything about her oldest grandchild. It's never good. If I say something in a negative thing about him. But the meditation I'm going to shortly teach you in a few minutes, right after my mother passed away, my sister did this meditation and she fell asleep. And she had a dream. And in the dream, my mother came to her and told her that she should still be here now, that she wasn't supposed to leave us. And it was because of that we pursued some legal actions because of that dream, because of that visit from my mother, who let us know that she should still be here with us here on earth. We need to not only experience angels, but these days, I think even more so, we need to all start being angels for one another. When I came to B'nai Shalom, God, all right, Rabbi, I know you're listening. For 25 years ago, I just lost my mother. I was ill. And someone led me to be there where I needed to be. It was, I believe, divine intervention. I know that that's what God wanted me to do. That was what God had in store for me. We have that ability. We can experience angels. Look for signs. Pay attention. I had a friend congregant who I cherish very deeply, and heartbroken when her mother passed, just heartbroken. And we talked about it, how when someone leaves, they often lift up their hands, and I believe they're lifting up their hands for the angels to come and take them up to heaven. And she kept looking for signs and missed her mother and still misses her mother so much. And she started saying, I said, well, is there anything different that's been happening in your life? Anything? She goes, it's a little funny because I keep finding pennies. Wake up in the morning, there's a penny next to my bed. I go in the car and there's a penny laying on the ground. I said, really? I said, pennies have anything to do? She goes, well, my mother loved the song, Pennies from Heaven. We can relate, but we also can pray and we can use angels. But most important thing, and I know Nancy's going to talk about that, I think, maybe ask, when you pray, you can't pray to angels. This is why they weren't made till the second day. We didn't want any confusion between angels and God. Angels, those are God's emissaries. Those are God's messengers. Angels are sent from God. And when you pray, you ask God to send angels. There is not a night that goes by where I don't say my prayers and say, the Shema, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, but reminding us not only there's only one God, but that we're one with God and one with another, and call on God and ask them to send the archangels to the people that I love and care for, to send the angels to protect those people, to bring healing to people who are going through suffering. You don't have to know the angel's name, maybe, but you need to ask God to send the angels. But you can also ask God to send the angels to you, to bring you clarity. If you need clarity, ask God to send you Uriel. If you need some strength to get through these days, ask God to send you Gabriel. If you need love, if you need compassion, ask God to send you Michael. And if you're in need of healing, or if someone you love and care for is in need of healing, ask God to send you and to send them Raphael. I promised Nancy that I would share with everyone one of my favorite meditations. As I said, this is the meditation that my sister did. Rabbi Goldhamer taught it to me over 20 years ago. It is one of my favorite because I've used it to help me when I'm having, a difficult time, when I'm looking for answers. So it's called the Garden of Eden meditation. So if everyone will make yourself just really comfortable wherever you are.
Shari, I just want to say one thing. Everybody, you will have a copy of this. Focus on Shari's teaching it to you and get into the essence of it. You don't have to take notes about it. We will send it to you.
Thank you, Nancy. All right. And as Nancy said, everyone is going to get a copy of this. So sit back. Make yourself comfortable. Not too comfortable. You don't want to fall asleep, which sometimes happens, but that's an experience in itself. And just focus in on your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Just feel calm. And as you breathe in and then breathe out, feel all of the toxins, all of the things that are making your life so heavy. Just feel them totally leaving you. With every breath in, just breathe in light. And with every breath out, just send out away from you all the heaviness. Do this softly, quietly, for a minute. In, calm, out all the heaviness. And as you breathe in and out, visualize your inner self soaring upward. See the soul, your spirit, going up through the ceiling. See it going up through the roof. Feel yourself going up to the heavens. See yourself as just light, yellow light, or blue light, or just a shadow. And as you soar up higher and higher to the stars, feel yourself soaring up to the very heavens. And then feel yourself flying eastward, going toward the Holy Land. See yourself soaring over the cities, over New York, the ocean. Feel yourself continuing to go on and on and on until you finally reach the Holy Land of Israel. And then feel your soul start to descend. You're landing right in the middle of a huge desert. It's evening. You look and you realize that you're near the city of Hebron. And you see in the distance a cave. Now this cave, this is the cave of Machpelah. This is where Abraham and Sarah and Adam and Eve and Isaac and Rebekah and Leah and Jacob are buried. It's also the entrance to the Garden of Eden. Feel yourself enter the cave. Feel the coolness of the ground under your feet. And walk toward the back of the cave. It's cold, it's moist, it's dreary, it's dark, but there seems to be some radiating light coming from a door, and it's glowing. It's so different from everything else in the cold, stark walls of the cave. And open the door. And when you do, you're right in there. You're right there in the Garden of Eden. I always see it in like the cool of the evening when God would be walking in the garden. See all of the animals walking around. It's lush with green vegetables. There's heavenly light. There's 4 rivers running through it. And all the animals are there in peace with one another. Smell the sweet flowers. Feel the coolness of the air around you. Hear the sound of the river. And then lift up your eyes and look. And there, coming towards you, is an angel, a malach, a messenger of God. And this angel is coming towards you with an important message to guide you in your life. Something that you've been worried about, something that's going on. This angel is there to help you, to talk to you. Maybe you recognize the angel as one of the archangels. Maybe it's just a being of light. Maybe it's someone that you've known. and talk to the angel and open up your heart and feel what the angel has to tell you. If you do this and you keep going back, you'll be able to understand. You'll intuit. You'll know what the angel is trying to say. Let the angel give you their message. Whatever you need at that time. And once you've received your message, thank the angel. And slowly take in all the beautiful signs of the garden one more time before you go and close the door and go back into the cave. And as you do it, feel yourself traveling through the cave into the desert once again, and feel your body, your soul soaring back up to heaven. Travel back home, fly up past the ocean, past New York, past the city, to where you live, and feel yourself slowly coming back down into the room, into your body, and see your inner self merge with your being, and feel comforted that you've received an answer to the important question in your life. If you do this, if you try it, I'm not going to promise that it's going to happen on the first time, but I'm telling you, if you practice, you will be able to experience an angel. And in closing, I just want to thank all of the angels that have come into my life, my family, my friends, my B'nai Shalom and Hebrew Seminary family, all the wonderful people, teachers and staff and students, and all the people that make my life so much better. You are truly angels, especially Rabbi, that God has sent to me. So I thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Rabbi Shari, I mean, we all could just pour ourselves into that meditation and just stay there. It was not an easy place to leave because you were so soothing and so gorgeous. So everybody, I hope you experienced it instead of writing about it. That's usually what I would be doing. So you will get it. Two questions to start with. One is, what about female angels? And then the second question, and I'll repeat it again. One of the Catholic beliefs is that everyone has their own guardian angel that is with them all the time. So we'll start out with, and it's a great question, what about female angels?
That's a wonderful question. So, as I said, we all experience angels in different ways. But even in our ancient literature, often, and that's how it is for me, Oriel is portrayed as a female angel, an angel of light. So that's how I've always experienced her. As I said, angels is your own frame of reference. And anyone that comes and gives you a message is an angel. And we're angels. And we all have the possibility of making more angels. How do you do it? Anytime you do a mitzvah, a good deed, you're creating an angel.
Shari, is that inner voice we have that tells you turn left, or it tells you don't say that? Is that our subconscious, or is that an angel?
I've had so many times in my own life, and have heard so many stories from other people where they went a different way. And because they did, it totally changed what was happening in their life. We all have guardian angels. Judaism is a big, big believer, according to our beliefs. We believe each person has 11,000 angels. We have one angel that makes sure we cross the street okay. Another angel that, takes care of us when we get up. We firmly believe in guardian angels, and it's relating and connecting with them in our lives. The first times they talked about the archangels was much later. It's not Torah either named. Not until the book of Zechariah do they actually mention Michael and Gabriel. So that comes much later. But yes, we totally have. I mean, haven't you had a guardian angel that's come into your life just when you needed to protect you right at that moment? So yes, guardian angels, very, very, very Jewish.
Good to know. It's a lot of confusion out there about angels, and you have been illuminating, to say the least. There's so much to learn about this, and we are so grateful to you for being with us this evening and for giving us a sense of that this can be a part of our lives. We have to take the time. But I think just that one meditation, that one practice, to really commit to it, however often. And could you just reiterate for those who don't know how to call in the guardian, the archangels at night, and how to ask?
Right.
Reiterate
so,
that.
And that's actually from, as I said it for many years since I was a young girl. So in the name of the eternal God of Israel, I asked you to send me my guardian angels. On my right, be Michael. On my left, Gabriel. Before me, Uriel. Behind me, Raphael. As Rabbi Goldhammer likes to say, he always got your back. And above my head, the glory of God, the Shekhinah, which is a blue light.
That's beautiful. That's very helpful. And we need that because we need help. We need emissaries. We need support. And so thank you.
We do, but we also need to be angels for others. And that's especially these days. That's more than we need to be God's angels, his messengers here on earth. We have been so isolated this last year from one another. We're people that need to connect, need to feel a part. And any good, any mitzvah we can do, we can be one of God's angels here on earth. And first responders have been angels, last responders also. And I think God needs us to help each other,
Amen.
Especially at this time. So thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you so much. And again, also on this recording, I think some of you, when you get it, you will automatically get it because you were, and the meditation will be included, but share this with your family and friends. This is new information for a lot of people. And I think it's knowing you're not alone and knowing how to take you out of the loneliness or the darkness, even as the sun's coming out more. So thank you, Rabbi Shari. And
thank you.
On behalf of Hebrew Seminary, we want to thank all of you for being our angels to join us for the fourth of our series. Thank you. We've learned so much. And I think one of the important things just that you clarified for me is that we don't pray to the angels, we pray to God to send the angels. And I think that if we can meet angelic beings on our journey forward, including those here on earth angels like you, we can enrich our lives and our spirits, which makes everything else more beautiful and easier to deal with tough times. And Kathy, your signing is like delivered from angels, and we thank you so much for that. We hope you'll join us for the last of our spirituality series on Tuesday, May 25th. I almost said summer because we did this last year, not knowing we'd still be in a pandemic, but the good news is we're doing this and we can do it virtually and gather people from all over. So the next one is the last of this series is Tuesday, May 25th with our esteemed Rabbi Rami Haim Drizin, who will speak on, and I shall dwell within them, accessing the inner holy spark, and there'll be a little blurb about it. And all of these events are included on the invitation. We'll resend it. Please invite your family and friends. And now a really exciting announcement. The ordination of Rabbi, soon to be, Sandra Cherak will take place on Zoom this Friday, April 30th at 1 p.m. Central Time. If you have never experienced a rabbinic ordination, please come. It is so magnificent and even will be on Zoom. And we are so excited about it. Rabbi Cherak is a graduate of Hebrew Seminary and a member of the board of directors. Also at the ordination, we will be honoring our dear Allison Brown, who is with us this evening, I see. And she was our former executive director. And we love her and are so grateful. And we'll also be giving an honorary degree to Hebrew Seminary rabbinic student and accomplished poet, Stacy Zizek Robinson, who I am very sorry to say passed away earlier this year. She is deeply missed, yet always will be and is a beautiful inspiration. We are on a quest to raise awareness about our school and its wealth of offerings, both rabbinic students and the community at large. So please visit our website, HebrewSeminary.org. That is where you can sign up for Friday's ordination, HebrewSeminary.org, and learn more about us and explore what's available to you. We also welcome your support so we can continue to do our important work, educating rabbis as Jewish leaders, spiritual guides, and serving the deaf community and all communities, and to provide events such as this evening. So in closing, may this season of growth and sunshine bring you a newfound sense of hope and joy. And yes, so many challenges are still in our midst, but together, with a little help from the angels on earth and otherwise, we shall persevere with love and with faith. And I thank you. And
Thank you.